So I just watched a 3 hour long detective murder mystery called The Batman. Yeah, you heard that right. So the Batman is still in his early years of fighting crime, still trying to figure out his role in the city of Gotham when a mysterious killer called the Riddler begins to brutally murder top level government officials. Batman must investigate and try to get to the bottom of this. At the same time, he begins to uncover a trail of corruption, murder, lies, deceit, and even links to his own past. My expectation for the Batman was sky high. I was insanely hyped for this movie, and when you walk into a theater with that amount of hype, it's quite rare that the film can actually satisfy you. But the Batman completely satisfied me and gave me exactly what I wanted from the film. This was an amazing film, start to finish. Now, there's one thing I want to clear up here. This is not a blockbuster superhero film that is filled with action sequences, that's filled with entertaining and fun moments all the way through. This is not that film. This is a slow burn mystery thriller that slowly begins to unfold its story, that focuses a lot on the characters, that focuses quite a bit on the details of the investigation. I mean, there are long sequences where Batman is just going through files, he's looking at clues, he's looking at video footage, trying to figure out what happened. I mean, it's extremely detailed in the way it handles the investigation of the crime scenes. And so this is that movie. This is not a blockbuster film where you just have an action scene every 5 minutes and a lot of fun stuff happening, a lot of jokes being thrown around. This is a dark, grim and gritty film that is drenched with realism, and there's a lot of moments that just slowly build up the tension. This is not a very fast-paced film. It's a slow burn film. And that is really the best part about it. I really like the slow burn of the film. You could just sit back and with amazing amount of detail just look into the way Batman works, look into the way he investigates into these crimes, and all of this was really fascinating for me. Right from the first 10 minutes of the film, I was locked in and the film didn't let me go till the end. This is a 3 hour long film, but I barely felt the runtime. It just felt like 2.5 hours to me. It didn't feel like a 3 hour long film. And that is definitely a plus point. The best way for me to describe the Batman is that it has more parallels with films like Zodiac and Seven than it does with any other superhero film. So essentially, if Brad Pitt's character in the movie Seven was Batman, then that would be this film. And the film goes for a mixture of styles here. As I said, Seven is definitely the biggest inspiration, and more so than that, films like Chinatown and even LA Confidential to an extent feel like they have inspired the film. And if you like those films that are slow murder mysteries with a noir tone to them, then I think you'll definitely love the Batman. As I said, the film is not packed with action, but there are two major action sequences. One happens midway through the film. You've actually seen a glimpse of it in the trailer. You have Batman chasing the Penguin in the Batmobile. That chase was probably one of the best action sequences I have ever seen in a superhero film. I am not even exaggerating at this point. From the moment Batman just hits the gear of the Batmobile and Michael Giacchino's masterful musical score kicks in, I was on the edge of my seat. And the entire 5 minutes of that scene was riveting to watch. I mean, that just completely blew my mind away. I have to say, the way Matt Reeves handles the film is really masterful. Almost every sequence is directed to perfection. Greg Fraser's cinematography is absolutely top notch. I think this might be the best cinematography we have ever seen in a Batman film, and Michael Giacchino's musical score is absolutely phenomenal. Now let's just talk about the acting. When it was announced that Robert Pattinson was going to play the Batman, a lot of people were skeptical. I was looking forward to it. I wouldn't say that I was hyped that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman, but I was definitely looking forward to it. And once you watch the film, I think it's impossible not to love Pattinson as Batman. He carries that bat suit so perfectly. I mean, when he's in the room, when he's in a scene, he instantly takes command of it. He was brilliant in the film. There are very few sequences with Bruce Wayne. In fact, almost over 90% of the film, you see him in the Batman costume. Within those very few moments, Pattinson gave an incredible performance. He looked amazing as the Batman, and the Batsuit looked stunning, to be very honest. And I really liked the fact that the Batsuit wasn't just like the suit; it was actually very functional. And even the logo that is on his chest is actually a weapon that he uses later on in the film, which I thought was really clever. But more so than that, I absolutely love the character of Batman here. He was portrayed to be a very dark version of Batman, probably the darkest we have ever seen in a film. But all throughout, I think he goes through this really nice character arc with whatever is happening and him trying to figure out his role in the city. I think the entire character arc that Batman has here is just brilliantly done. I really loved it. Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman, she was perfect. I really loved her character. She was extremely likable, and her character was written in a way that you can instantly connect with her. And actually, surprisingly enough, she was a major part of the story. It's not like she just comes in and goes out. She was a major part of the story, and Zoe Kravitz did a great job. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon was incredible. I loved his performance. I don't know, he was so grounded and realistic, yet very likable. And he's practically a lead in the film because from the start to the end, he is constantly with Batman investigating stuff. He actually plays a major part in the film, and I really loved his performance and the way his character was written. It was great. Paul Dano as the Riddler, the main villain of the story, he was really scary in the film. I mean, there were moments where I was just clutching my seats because of how chilling his portrayal was of the Riddler, and one that you kind of feel scared watching him on screen. And I absolutely loved Paul Dano's performance here. He was great. John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, Andy Serkis as Alfred was great, and Colin Farrell as the Penguin is unrecognizable. But he gave an incredible performance throughout, and all of the performances, be it even if they were in the scene for just a minute, all of the actors did a great job. Now, I've been singing praises for this film all the way through. Let's just talk about a few things that didn't work for me. First and foremost, the third act felt like it was dragged a bit. Like, I wasn't bored. It definitely felt like the story was dragging on than necessary, and it just took some time to finally get to the ending, and it didn't quite end with a sequence that would just probably lift the entire film to a crescendo, because it just keeps going on after a few sequences, and that just felt like the story dragged out a little bit towards the end. Another thing I want to point out here is that this film is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to like it. This is not a film that is commercial. This is not a blockbuster film. This barely has 2 action sequences, which are incredible, but again, they're very far and few between. This is a slow burn detective mystery. As I said, it feels a lot more like the film Seven than it feels like any other superhero film. It's definitely unique in that perspective, especially in the superhero genre. So if you like films like that, which are slow and have detailed sequences of crime investigation, then I think you're definitely going to love the Batman. With all of that said, I'm going to give the Batman a 91%. So that was my review for the Batman. What did you guys think about the film? Comment that down below and tell me what is your favorite Batman film. Where would you rank this film within the other films? So put all of that down in the comments, and also let me know what other film, shows or books you want me to review on this channel. I'll try my best to do that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again.